2, 3, 4. Bought a ship when I just joined the Pilots Federation. Cost me 52 grand. I felt so proud when I special legged to the shipyard and they put the keys in my hand. Do you have keys? I don't know. And they only have a small hard point, but that doesn't matter to me. 'Cause she's mine and she blows my mind. She's my beautiful space taxi. I'm a hauler, space baller, talking Peterson, I bow to you. It's a mini Fer-de-Lance with nothing in his pants, but goddamn it, I love you. My space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah. I tricked it out so it would jump just like a lady. It maxed out at 30.09. One fully laden, its ass was a beautiful thing. No shit, kid, to mess with its lines. Jumped into open for a community goal. Thought I'd raise a buck or two. Some guy called Potter stripped my shield to water rider. I'm at 1% as I recharge my friendship. Oh, I'm a hauler, yeah, such a baller. Talking pizzas and I bow to you. It's a mini Fer-de-Lance with nothing in his pants, but goddamn it, I love you. Yeah, I'm a hauler, such a baller, talking penis and I bow to you. It's a mini Fer-de-Lance with nothing in his pants, but goddamn it, I love you. My space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah, my space taxi, yeah. tub, there's just the three of us, lost in the heart and soul. Nobody knows if it's gonna be safe, but oh, we're gonna break some rules. This cold vacuum through that bulkhead, boy, no one's gonna hold your hand. If you wanna stay here, then pour me a beer, and I'm sure we'll have a good old time. Three guys, one ship, lost in the heart and soul. Three guys, one ship, hiding in the black. Will they ever come back? Somewhere safe from attack. Find a sweet spot and call it home. disagree. Oh, yeah. Wishing on a star, we'll make this journey together. Wishing on a star, our only hope is together.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous,
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from a foreign Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads. A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 509 of Lave Radio, the show that likes to talk about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix to Fire, otherwise known as Colin Ford, Chief Archivist of Lave Station. And joining me in the Orange Sidewinder Bar for this episode, we have our Head of Health and Safety, that would be Commander Edelweiss, otherwise known as Ben Moss-Woodward.
Yeah, good evening. I'm trying not to melt at the present.
Fair enough. We have our SRV Banksy, that would be Commander Alec Turner.
Hey everyone, I am trying not to melt Ben at the moment.
Oh.
That would be interesting.
No, keep on.
Oi!
And we also have our Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Psychic, otherwise known as Claire.
Hello, everyone. I'm trying not to have opinions.
You're not allowed opinions.
Yeah, an unusual show.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm not allowed them anymore.
No,
Right.
not allowed.
Okay. If you wish, you can join us live. We are hanging out in Gaming Open. Ben is somewhere, but we do know to have the Chris Mark IV with friends in the bar at Lave Station. But if you can't get to us in game, you can join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or you can go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio. And hello to everyone in the chat room. So, we'll just have a quick chat with the rest of the crew, see what they've been up to this week. So, Ben, do you want to go first?
I can go first. I've had mixed. I've had mixed things, I suppose. I've been game-wise. The only thing I've actually played is Elite, which probably makes a change, I suppose. I'm in Flight Assist off. Let's stop that. I was tickling Raijin, making sure that we got everything up, and then yesterday I managed to melt myself. So today I'm going to try and not melt myself. Because I thought, you know what's a really stupid idea? I'm going to build a shieldless, cool Type 8 to nom up some Titans things. And I've got no idea if it's a good idea or a bad idea, but it seemed like a good idea. So I wanted to try that, and I then promptly went to see Raijin. And then we'll be covering that later, I suppose. Real life wise, what have I done? I did, lots of things with the kids. I've been swimming, visiting the excitement that is IKEA. Once again, my kids remain on a Bluey festival, so that was a large part of my weekend. And then I've also been watching Agatha, and I just started watching The Penguin, which I've been loving.
I got excited when you said Agatha.
Yeah. Oh,
so
how beautiful was last Thursday's episode? I love this.
I cannot wait until Thursday.
Oh,
I cannot wait. Oh my
It'll
god!
be over. I cannot want it to finish.
Absolute masterclass of an episode. Incredible writing, incredible ownership of a very difficult script. To have, I could.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, not a problem. Okay, Claire, you're up next.
Hi. I played. Okay. Real life stuff. Kind of real life stuff. Let's pretend that that's real life stuff. I did I watched Agatha all along, which I mean, it's some of the best stuff that Marvel has put out in a really, really long time. It's right up there with for me, it surpasses Loki and WandaVision, and it's really, really good. Highly recommend it. If those are your bag, you'll like this. I think that's the caveat. On Saturday, we have a microbrewery that isn't too far away from us called Tiny Rebel Brewery. And I had my new favorite burger I've ever had. They have like a restaurant bar attached to it. It's really bougie and very it's super dog friendly. There were dogs everywhere and it was great. But a really, really nice bar and burger joint kind of thing. And I have a habit of going to a burger joint in the search for the perfect burger. It's been topped by the Tiny Rebel Brewery in South Wales. Highly recommend if you're in the area. It was so lovely, and the music was like listening to Black Diamond FM, and you know how much I enjoy that. I also took part in Grant's Eurovision Song Contest thing. I'll tell you right now, both the Chris Mark 4 and I were utterly robbed, and we'll leave it at that. But that was really fun. In game, I've done a little bit extra of like playing on the preview server. I haven't done anything else in on the normal server. On the peasant server, I haven't done anything there. I've just been playing on the preview server, and giving since everything they patched it, since Frontier patched it, having another look at Power Play and seeing how I feel about that. So I have some opinions and some thoughts. I apologize that I have some thoughts about a video game. I'm sorry. Speaking
get rid of those opinions as well. You're not allowed them. Jesus, we talked about this.
I'm so sorry. I'll try to not. Maybe. Here we go. I've also been trying to complete Inquisition before Veilguard comes out, and I'm not going to, and that's also fine. So I'm kind of signing off a lot of social media because I don't want any Veilguard spoilers. I've had quite a few Veilguard spoilers so far, mostly from EA, so I guess it's fine. But I've been playing a lot of Inquisition and falling unequivocally and unabashedly in love with a dwarf who is not romanceable, and making do with the egg, I suppose, for my first run at least. And it's a delight. It's an utter delight. Why have I spent all my life playing fucking non-story games when these amazing stories exist out there that you can just get immersed and fall into? Yeah, don't get me wrong, some of the other games are fun, but give me a good narrative and plug that to my veins. It was very cool. It's been a cool week. It's been a cool week. I've played Elite and I've played other games. It's really good stuff.
Excellent. Alec.
Hey, yes. It's been a very calm, pleasant week for me, actually. No major news. Obviously, the clocks went back, so the worst thing there is that it's that time of the year when I start coming home in the dark from work, which is always a bit of a shock. And it's that I'm going to be going home in the dark for the next several months now.
4 months.
Yeah, hey ho. At least it's light in the morning. Swings and roundabouts, eh? In game, I popped back to Raging. It was rather cool, actually. I went back to Raging on, I guess it was, I don't know, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, whenever it went, with the intention of topping up my 2 million. And by a beautiful coincidence, happened to be there when the last heart went down, which I don't think I've ever been there before. For that before, so that was super cool. I was literally there for about 20 minutes, and and the last heart went down, so I got to see all that. And then of course it's my time of day. It's early morning when I play anyway, so I got to see it explode, and did that from a place where I could actually see it explode, which was cool.
It was really early, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was
6 in the morning.
It's like 6:30 in the morning. It's perfect for me. That was.
Yeah, it took quite a while for that one to go down, but we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, there was interesting stuff there. I popped back into the Ascendancy test server just to make sure that
Preview server. Just to clarify, it's not a test server.
No, it's not a
Isn't
test
that
server.
what they call it? What do they call it? It's not a beta. I know it's not a beta, but don't they call it
preview server? They call it a preview server.
Oh, the amount of grief I'm getting on the forums for that.
Oh my god!
Well, I mean, it's lucky we were in there, not testing.
Yeah, it's lucky we were in there because it was broken as fuck. But
nah, it's fine. I went to let me think of my wording. I went to preview the Mandalay's wings, which they'd glued on properly, and verified that they were indeed proper wings.
Proper hitbox this time.
Yeah, with a proper hitbox. Very good hitbox, actually. And and then I also went and took the Type 8 and shoved its front arms through various things and verified that they suffer from exactly the same problem the Mandalay's wings suffered from. So I have been emailing a few people who hopefully will take notice. I'm guessing Frontier aren't really worried about it cosmetically looking a bit rubbish on planets, but they probably are worried about the wings being shoved through concourses and flipping people around.
I must admit, I did see the one where you had someone walking on the wing while the wing was in the concourse. That was quite cool.
Yeah, it's neat. There's actually 2 different types of NPCs. So the NPCs that walk around have a little route that they walk, are sort of more solid than the ones that are just standing at tables at the bar. Don't react to them at all, but and the wings go straight through them. But the ones that are walking are kind of slightly different, and you can pick them up and move them around. It's really funny. And I've been doing some buckyball, which I guess I'll talk about that later.
Cool.
That's about it.
Excellent. Well, personally, I've been out in the black a lot this week with my Explorer Commander. I also did a bit of experimentation with the Power Play preview. I really enjoyed it a lot once I'd worked out how to get the weeklies done. There's a lot of confusion about what a system is in an acquisition and what reinforcement. And there are a couple of things in the documentation that they could explain better, like how to actually find out the range of what these fortified and stronghold systems are. It took me ages until I finally found how to do that on the map. Sheesh. But thoroughly enjoyed it. Looking forward to it, and we'll just have to wait and see how that plays out, because we'll talk about that more in a bit. Did some lovely Lave BGS stuff on my streams, and of course no pigeons were crippled during my streams either. Only people who will have been there at the time will know. Started to play a bit of the Final Fantasy remake on game mode instead of story mode, and boy do my fingers hurt. Yes, Final Fantasy does go a little bit more, tests your reactions a lot more when it goes into actual proper game mode instead of story mode, and I'm feeling my age. They are off the list. Coding on my mobile phone game has hit a new benchmark because I've managed to get both the hot seat and single player prototypes working. So yay! Still a lot to do, mine, but I feel like I've just got over a big technical hump.
Nice.
So, yep. Right. Well, obviously tonight's in-the-game activity is meet Chris at the bar and shoot Ben. Is there anything new?
Feels right.
Yes. Right, development news. What has been said this week? Well, now that's interesting. There's been another delay of Ascension. We were supposed to get it today, but yesterday we got a notification saying that it's been delayed to the 31st. So, yes. Again, it does seem like they're working on the AI of the NPC ships, and they're not exactly happy with it at the moment, but hopefully this Thursday we'll instead of answering the door to trick-and-treaters, we'll be power playing instead.
Maybe.
Fair enough.
I got Dungeons. I got D&D. I'm sorry, lads. It's not me.
Yeah. So next up, of course, tomorrow we have the Frontier Unlocked. That will be at 6 p.m. Now, right. There have been a couple of little hints about this. Obviously, the one thing that we're looking forward to the most is the announcement of the big new feature. And then, yes, Zach has been asking whether or not they should show off another ship.
Yeah, so we'll get a new ship and we'll get the new feature tomorrow. So it should be a nice big chunk at the end of the thing, because obviously for the front page stuff, they're going to want to pimp the Planet Coaster 2, which is out next week, I think?
November the 6th.
Yeah, November the 6th.
Wow. Sweet. Ish.
Yeah, I didn't think Planet Coaster 2 had done that well, but someone recently published the sales charts for, where the revenue comes from for Frontier, and I was surprised to see that Planet Coaster is now up there past Elite and pushing Jurassic Park as well.
I'm not surprised. So, they're doing so much work. They're doing so much work with that. I hope it comes to fruition.
Yeah,
I hope it all pays off.
I think it's got wider appeal as well, actually.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I am actually really disappointed when I look at what the red line was for the F1 manager. But the Realms of Ruin, oh wow, that is.
Is that a negative line? Is it like below the x-axis somewhere?
Well, put it this way: the F1 manager has only just begun to climb back towards what you could consider breaking even.
Right.
The Realm of Ruin just seemed to be in an absolute freefall. Which, okay.
Can't win them all.
Definitely not. Anyway, moving on from... Well, Elite's still quite up there as well, but obviously it's been counting 10 years worth of sales. So it'll be interesting to see what the revenue from the Elite Dangerous is like after we've got all the shipped sales through. Because I'm expecting a bit of a jump.
Yeah, and love it or hate it. Well, I guess we all hate it, but the change in price of cosmetics, that could have made a difference. They obviously thought it would make a difference.
One thing we do have to point out is that we've had no confirmation that the Type 8 is going to be free for credits with the next update. Nobody's actually said anything to say that,
it would make sense for it to be, though, right? Like, with
the
all of the
natural
same
assumption is that it would
update.
be.
Yeah, but normally they said it's normally 3 months. And
You're
remember,
saying normally we've had one ship.
2.
Oh,
Yeah, this is a second.
yeah, but we've had one ship go 3 months with early access.
Yeah,
and then drop it.
Once.
Yeah, you can't even be like, oh, if I had a nickel every time it lasted exactly 3 months, I'd have 2 nickels. But it's weird that it's happened twice, because we're only basing this on the first one, and I can't remember seeing anywhere that that Frontier said it will go in early access for 3 months. There's a lot of assumptions being built around that first one. It would make sense if they'd released each ship every 3 months, but they didn't. The first one came out a lot later, and they got to squeeze them all in for the year.
When the Python Mark II went on sale for credits, did that have to come in an update, or can they just flip a switch on that?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Fanarp in chat is saying, actually, they said that very thing in the July stream, that it would be exactly 3 months. They said it was actually 3 months, exactly 3 months. Because Frontier, we all know that Frontier are really, really good at keeping time and being bang on the time when they're supposed to.
Yeah. Yes, pretty much.
It would make sense for it to come with this update.
100% it would.
But I don't think it will.
I do.
Really?
Why would you not?
Just to... Oh, you know what? If it happens, it happens. I've got no... I just thought the 3-month rule would they'd be sticking to it, but anyway, right. I'm going to hand over to Alec for the community news.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
And what have we got this week? We have it's almost as if Nicey is doing this once a week to coincide with Lave Radio. Nicey has another excellent new blog called Shiny New Ships, basically in which they go through all the new ships we've had this year: the Python Mark II, the Type 8, the Mandalay, and whatever Ship 4 is going to be. Just a nice little blog, describes each of the ships and some of their key features. Next up, I mentioned on last week I did a shout out for a couple of kind of spreadsheets and things that people had started to put together for PowerPlay 2, based on what we've learned from the preview server. There's another one. It's a good one, this, actually. It's DSS Lev's awesome PowerPlay 2 merit and activity breakdown. And it's just a big spreadsheet of, all the merits and activities for each of the powers. Nicely done. All these fantastic spreadsheets and things that people are producing based on what we're seeing in the preview server. I'm sure it'll be fine, but of course there's no guarantees that what we're seeing in the preview server will translate to the live game. They could tweak all of these numbers, I suppose. It's a good start, though. There's some good documents out there already for the PowerPlay fans who are trying to get an early start. Oh yes, this is quite cute, actually. I think I have seen this before, but it's been updated. So a Realm has produced this nice little things to do in Elite diagram. It's kind of one of these sort of interactive diagrams where you can zoom in and out, and there's loads of branches, and there's branches to do with community and exploration and combat, and then loads of sub branches to do with all the various subgenres of each of those things. And there's quite a lot of sort of hypertext links in there. So like there's a whole branch on third-party tools, and if you zoom in, there's branches for, I don't know, ED Copilot and Elite Observatory and all these other things, and they're all clickable. So it's a good little sort of reference that you can explore graphically. It's quite fun. I like it. Right, videos. I discovered a whole new channel just popped up on my feed. It's been going a while, and it looks really good, actually. It's from a YouTuber called Spacefaring Chronicles. There's a good dozen videos on there, I think. And there's a split between guides, some really nice guides. So I just watched one this morning to see what they were like, and it was a guide on a sort of beginner's guide to combat. Pretty basic stuff that I suspect everyone here knows already, but it's, things like he just takes the bog standard Sidewinder that you get when you start playing Elite, makes some very sensible small changes to it, bung some shields on it, bung some weapons on it. Makes a slightly poor choice on weapons and and owns up to that and uses that as a learning kind of lesson as well. And then basically goes to a res site and waits for police to do 90% of the dirty work, and then gets a few hits and shows people how to get bonds doing bounty hunting. But they've got loads. They've got about 7 or 8 guides. And then alongside that, I haven't watched these yet, but they've also got a kind of adventure series where basically there's a bit of blurb which I'll read out, but it's meet Commander Tiberius Valerian, who's been reset back to the start of the game. Throughout this series, we'll follow his journey in Elite Dangerous Odyssey, showing you how to get started and build a career in this expansive universe. Whether you're new to Odyssey or the game in general, we've got tips to help you from the ground up. So there's the tutorials, and then there's also alongside that an adventure series where Commander Tiberius's gameplay is just just being documented. It's good. It's a really good channel. I'm going to dig into that a lot more in the next week or so. We have a lovely Odyssey exploration montage from Koenaman02, who just says, I recently took an exploration trip to the galactic core in Elite Dangerous Odyssey in my DBX. The video showcases some of my favourite finds from the first leg of the journey. And as usual, beautiful visuals from this game set to a nice bit of music. So about 2.5, 3 minutes, really good little video. Number 6 on the list, possibly contentious because I'm going to use the word AI. Love it, I hate it, whatever, but I'm going to feature it anyway. It's from Orange Phoenix, who I like a lot and does loads of streaming and stuff alongside this. And he's made a video it's like a rap video to go with all the Power Play 2 characters, 2.5 minutes long. He says in his blurb, using an AI song creator and a bit of creativity, I've made this song video featuring the new Power Play 2.0 that will be coming to Elite Dangerous week commencing 28th of October. I hope you enjoyed this silly song and video. I did. It was fun. Right. Next up, it's Buckyball Week. It's underway. It started, where are we now? Tuesday. It started last Thursday. So it's like 4 or 5 days in now, and it's going to run till Monday week. I guess it's going to get interrupted a bit in the middle by the update. It's fun. It's good. I like this one. It's called Once Upon a Time in Leasty. And it's sort of a reworking of an old race that Reiko's done once before, but the idea is you collect a bunch of rares in the old worlds like Deso, Lave, Leasty, Zaunce, and then you transport them out to I don't know, sort of about 5 jumps in the Cobra, I suppose. Where do you transport them out to? I've forgotten. You transport them out to Epsilon, Indian, Eranin, sell those, pick up 2 rares, and then transport them back again. So in the regulation Cobra, it's a really classic, simple, pick up some stuff, take it somewhere, pick up some more stuff, bring it back. So I think that's going to be close. In Unlimited, there's a whole bunch of shenanigans, and they all sort of revolve around Lave Radio. So it's great fun. You have to basically do a bunch of publicity stunts, flying sort of loops through the holographic hoardings at the Orange Sidewinder, and zipping around Ridley Scott Station and stuff. And then you have to land in Deso and visit the Lave Radio signal booster, which is a little planetary installation, and hack its kind of comms beacons, and then get the hell out of there. Yeah, it's really good fun. I've done a whole bunch of runs. There's a lot to remember in Unlimited, so it's one of those races where you can very easily make a mistake. You get all the way around, and then you realise you've forgotten to sell something, or forgotten to buy something, or forgotten to visit one of the things. But it's a really good test, actually, really good challenge. How are we doing? We haven't got much on the leaderboards yet because it's quite early days. In regulation class, Shay's winning, I'm second, and Sir Boundness is third. We've only got 3 times on the board at the moment. An Unlimited class, have I got those the wrong way around? I think I've got those the wrong way around. Unlimited in regulation class, we've got me winning, then Epaphras, Sulu, Osric, Sir Boundness, Sir Bias, Ron Brandt, and Martin Jameson. So plenty of opportunity for people to get names quite high on leaderboards if they want to have a go, because it's quite slow uptake on this one. What else?
Sorry,
I didn't put.
Sorry, Alex. Who was that person? Epa something or other? Because I thought the name was Epicris.
Why are you doing this? Why are you doing this to me?
Well, you see, this race is Buckyball Racing Club versus Lave Radio. So when he's flying for the Buckyball Racing Club, it's Epaphras. But when he's trying to stop the filthy Buckyball Racing Club from hacking into our beacon, it's Epicurus.
Okay, so I'm not stopping anyone from hacking Lave at all because I feel like that sounds like a right good time. So I'm not going to say I'm Swiss. I'm just saying, fucking do it. Sounds like great.
I would say hack the servers and then boost the signal.
Do it.
Spread the word.
Do them
Spread
both.
the word.
And the Just About bounties. I suppose I could go into what the Just About bounties are this week. You've got 3 hours from now to create a time lapse video. That one's been running a while.
Mm-hmm.
You probably missed that one. You've got a day to. This is really easy. I mean, honestly, you couldn't win easier money. $2. All you've got to do is say, if you're a module, which module would you be? Bung them an answer. $2 in the bag. Ching.
Yeah, but why? Why would you want to be a module? I'd prefer to be me.
I don't know. There's some funny answers in there, you know. Report on the shifting galactic tides. You could win $7 for that. Tell them how to get into trading. You could get $4 for that. They've got some Halloween stuff. You could retell your favorite spooky generation ship story and win $4. They've got the usual kill of the week. They've got a guide thing. And they want some spooky and scary encounters. So a couple of Halloween themed ones. I am currently sitting on $57 this month. So for
nice.
the second month in a row, I'm going to take about $50 out of Just About and probably buy myself some more arcs.
I managed to get up another bounty as well. So apparently they were after a write-up of a historic elite's most iconic moments, and I submitted the sanctimonious story for the Gnosis, and that won a bounty. So I was quite happy with that.
Cool. Yeah. You also get bonus bounties. I'm not quite sure what for, whether somebody likes your stuff or if you interact and like a few other things. Occasionally I get $1 for, I'm not sure what reason whatsoever. But
yeah, I must admit, I'm looking through my feed now. Apparently I've got 50 cents for some reason. And when you look into it, it just says not specified. So they're giving me money for nothing, I think.
Yeah, no, I'm having no issues with it. It seems like fun, and they pop some good articles. One last point on Community Corner, unless anyone else has got anything, is people may have seen at the start of the show, but when we're sort of building up to the show starting, Lave Radio that is, we show screenshots just while the music's playing. So if you want to contribute screenshots, then you can type !Discord in the Twitch chat, and it'll give you the link to our Discord. And we have a screenshots channel in the Discord, and you can bung your lovely screenshots there, and we will cycle through them at the beginning of the show. Is that about right?
That feels right. That feels like exactly what Chris has been doing. So yeah.
Excellent.
Cool.
Right.
That is Community Corner for this week.
Okay, well, the in-game events, what has been happening this week? Well, on the 24th of October, Sojourner woke up. For those of you who have been missing the story, Sojourner, the Thargoid Whisperer, fell into a coma when the last Thargoid Titan became vulnerable. And yes, she's now woken up, and she's apologized to say that the reason for that was happening was because the Thargoids were trying to hack her head. And now they know everything about humanity. So everything that Sojourner knows, they know.
Oh, no.
And almost simultaneously, I think Arthur posted his usual Emperor Palpatine meme on Twitter. So
yeah,
something wicked this way comes.
So yeah, is something in Ascendancy? We will have to wait and see. Yeah. So yes, connected to that, of course, the 25th, we had the last mothership, as in Admiral Ada Tanner, and Aegis is now warning against complacency because we're down. The Thargoids are down to the last Titan, and let's just be.
Is that because we were so shit at doing the last one?
Yeah, I mean there was There was metrics done where they said that, the amount of people that were hitting the Titan was still the same amount. I just don't think they were hitting it as hard. Because I think...
Yeah, that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
One thing I saw, and you can still find this on DCOH somewhere. There's like a graph of all the different activities that you can do and how much they've contributed to the.
Yeah.
And the graph for rescues flatlined. It's like they forgot to switch it on, and then on a Tuesday or something, just before it went boom, it suddenly spikes and drives the whole of the rest of the graph up. So a naive reading of that is that rescues actually count quite a lot towards it, and they literally forgot to switch counting of rescues, or forgot or deliberately didn't switch the counting of rescues on. That's how the graph looks to me.
Is that rescues of people who were stuck in the Titan?
Yeah. So one of the main, what my understanding from speaking to certain anti-Xeno commanders, remember when I had an opinion about the fact that the Shinra Adespa thing finished so early, and it's and a lot of the stuff that people were telling me it was indicative that the reason it finished so early is that people were sending in rescuing in droves, and that cleared the invasion state? That cleared the invasion state super quickly, or that cleared whatever state it was in super quickly, which meant that it didn't last the whole time. I think this might be like a residual Frontier turning it off too late, so that wouldn't take count, and then forgetting to turn it back on.
Oh, I see.
That would be I'd hazard a guess at that being an interpretation.
I like that. That's good.
I must. It's right. Well, today we've had a famed treasure hunter going missing, and this has led to. Well, let's be honest. The Halloween event has started. So yes, this treasure hunter went off looking for the remains of Captain Morgan. Is that right?
Morrigan.
I don't know. I've been drinking rum.
It's fair.
Yes, and yes. So the famed treasure hunter Herman Colt. That sounds like rhyming slang for something, but I won't. Has gone off looking for Captain Morgan and has gone missing. So there's a whole load of beacons with a whole load of decryption to do, and I think it's already been solved, but it's still worth a try. So if you can try and do it without spoilers.
We're not going to talk about. We can't talk about it today because it's literally just come out, and I swear none of us have done it, right?
Yeah, none of us. Nope. None of us have done it.
A route. Yeah. I plotted a route.
I was tempted, but I was like, "No, I want to do this."
Yeah, I nearly did it before the show.
Yeah, I want to do it myself, but that's Friday's job.
I believe. I don't think this is a spoiler. I think this is just. I believe there was So there's a bunch of beacons, and I believe one of the beacons didn't appear for people, and apparently relogging fixed it. Some people were saying you had to switch to Russian. That's not true. You can just relog, I believe, and the beacon that doesn't normally appear will appear.
Those are Firefox fans who think in Russian. Dear. Anyway, right, the Thargoid War update. Well, there was one alert this week. There were 3 invasions this week. All of them have been cleared. There was 148 controlled systems, of which 15 have already been cleared, and there'll probably be more as well. Did you know there's now only 2 active Spire sites left in entirety?
I didn't know that there were any. I thought that ship had already sailed. It warms my little cold black heart to know that there is still an opportunity to interact with them.
Has there anyone been to these? Because aren't these leftovers from Tyrannus that never got cleared or something?
Oh, they might be.
Yeah. But
I don't know whether they're actually active if you go there. I don't know if the fact that Tyrannus has gone boom means that they've shut down in a way that doesn't register properly. I meant to go and have a look actually.
Yeah, well, the upshot of all this is that sort of if you still want to do your Mario impression with your commander, you've still got the opportunity to, while being under attack from a banshee. I'm going to go back to 1 because I do love that gameplay. It's going to be such a shame when it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good.
There is 1 Titan left because 1 went boom, and also all the. Well, yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit. And 16 systems are in recovery. So, yes, time moves on, or time runs out for the Thargoids. Or so it would
Still
seem.
feeling very confident about the Christmas prediction.
Something Palpatine gif. Yeah, Christmas prediction feels about right.
Knew it. Anyway, it's that time of the week again.
Score alert!
In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art. In the bi-weekly newsletter, here come paint jobs for your art.
And welcome back. Apologies if you heard some weird noises during that, but we've got the Halloween.
The man behind the curtain.
Yes, we've got the Halloween sale. So everybody, if you want, you've got the Perilous Pumpkin decal for free. But we've got
I need to do that.
Yep.
Thanks for reminding me, Colin.
All part of the service.
Yeah, you
So-
don't just get it. You do have to go to the store and buy it for £0.
Going now. Give me a moment.
So apart from that, you've got the Halloween Bat Bobblehead, the Jack-o'-lantern Bobblehead, the Cockpit Skull Lights, the Cockpit Lights in Skull Neon and Sugar Skulls, Cockpit Lights in Pumpkins, Trickster Suits, X-Ray Suits, Ectoplasms, and the following paint jobs for the Anaconda, the Cobra Mark III, the Asp Explorer, the Python, which are the Wisps and Malevolent Horror. Wow.
The Wisps are new, I think.
They are.
And also discounted.
Which one of the Wisps are these ones?
The ones with the little pumpkin faces
that we're
on.
showing on stream right now, I'm guessing.
I don't know. I'm getting my Perilous Pumpkin decal. I'm not looking at the stream right now.
Cool.
So yeah, it's a good selection, I thought.
Is anyone rocking any Halloween stuff on their ships right now?
I'm not at the moment, no.
No.
I have so many of the bat ones. The bat ones that are all the Twitch drop ones.
Yeah.
The ones like that we have at the moment as well. Like this, we have the partners have got 4 bat Twitch drop ones. I think they're the orange ones, if memory serves. I think they're orange this year. Oh, that might come back to bite me. But I think one of my Cobras has got the pink and purple bats on still, which was the first one that came out.
I've got my pumpkin string of lights up in the cockpit of my buckyball ship.
I always have a skull in one of my ships. But be it a sugar, the sugar skulls are incredible. I think the sugar skulls are like my favorite thing that Frontier ever come out with.
I like the sugar skulls a lot. Yeah, I think they're really cool.
They're the ones that
and there's like a metal skull. It's a little bit like almost like a Terminator skull or something. I know it's not.
Yeah, that's the one that I have in most ships. It doesn't go out very often. That one didn't come out very often. I normally have people asking me about it when I'm streaming. Oh, when did you get that skull? About 6 Halloweens ago, and they barely bring it out. I keep looking for it every Halloween. It's really nice.
Excellent. Reminds me a little of Mort from Planescape Torment. I think we want a Mort bobblehead from that. It's also worth noting that as the Ascendancy update drops, the Mandalay will be available for early access. So
yeah,
yep,
I think Frontier are going to make a fortune on this one.
I
do.
think so. I think this is going to be the biggest one.
Because people are really excited. It's a great ship. It is a great ship, and there's a lot. I just keep
so nice.
seeing people saying, "I'm going to go and buy this one."
It's too good. It's too good.
It is. It feels like it feels like it belongs in like the next Elite game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I do.
It's so far ahead of the other.
It needs an Achilles heel. Or maybe we've yet to discover one.
Maybe its Achilles heel is that it just randomly blows up.
See, I don't know. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen here. But if on Thursday, so for the update on Thursday, the update starts really early, unusually early, like 6 a.m. I think they're going to take the servers down.
Wow, that is early.
Yeah, I don't think they normally do that. I normally get to play before they take them down. So if they leave the preview server up, which they might, then what I'm going to do is I'm not allowed to do this officially, but I'm going to run the Mandalay round the buckyball course and see if I can see just how good it is.
Yeah, that's a good plan, actually.
Yeah, just for fun, do a fun run, because I reckon it'd be interesting to just whiz it round and see if it absolutely smashes the time I managed to get in a dolphin.
Yeah, it's like a predicted 9 hours of downtime.
Yeah.
So 6 until 3. That's a long time. What else are they putting in this update? I mean, it's a big update. We know that it's a big update because of all of the power play gubbins. But
I guess. Do you remember with the last update, and everyone was talking about how many megabytes it was, and going, "Oh, that's an awful lot of." And what I'm thinking is that, this update will touch a lot of systems.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if there aren't massive amounts of new assets, it will touch a lot of the systems of Elite. So
they have to put all of the decals on the windows of the concourses. That's going to take them at least an hour.
Yeah.
As Chris 5 is saying, they're having to change all the light bulbs.
And the vending machines as well.
Yeah, and the vending machines.
Yeah, the vending machines. Yeah, you can't forget the vending machines.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
And of course, the last thing to mention about this is that your decals and ship enhancements are now available if you manage to take down or help take down the last Titan. So I'm up to lucky number 7.
Yep, me too. I haven't got it yet.
Yeah. So yeah,
how are you doing, Ben? Yay! Woo!
Yay!
3!
So one quick thing on the new decal, actually. Some sharp-eyed people have spotted that the decal actually has a bit of a box around it, a very fine grey square box around the decal. I believe Frontier are aware of that and plan to fix it in a future update, but probably not this one. It's not very. I had to enlarge the picture that somebody posted and squint before I even saw it, so I wouldn't worry too much. But yeah.
Yeah, so, and of course, there's also that wonderful parts for your, what is it, Chieftain? So,
yeah, it's a dead shiny Chieftain, isn't it? I might actually have to do that.
It's one ship I don't have, actually. Don't have a Chieftain.
It's my Titan Bomber Chieftain.
Don't let Arthur you say that.
What? They don't like the Chieftain?
No, I don't have a Chieftain. I don't like the Adder. I have played with the Chieftain. I quite like it. I just haven't bought it. But
have you got any of the variants? What are the others? Challenger and
nope.
Yeah, they're all tanky things, aren't they?
Yeah, I guess so.
I am. All money is now going towards the Phoenix Defier Fleet Carrier Fund.
Oh, fair enough.
And I'm not doing very well at that. So we're going to have a quick ad break, and then we'll come back with our main discussion.
The Federal Navy. We want you for Adventures Unlimited.
Just last week I was mixing Sidewinder slammers at a seedy space bar. I wasn't even pilot registered. And now I have a ship and a basic starting mission for the Federal Navy.
Owing to recent actions in the Lave region, the Federal Navy now seeks to recruit another 1,000 entry-level pilots. We need you to add your strength to our military machine.
I'm going to see the galaxy.
We have missions for all pilots, regardless of combat experience or flight hours. Come and talk to us, and we'll get you on the military ladder. Join the Federal Navy. Make a real pilot of yourself, or die trying.
Wait, what's that? Is that a ship coming? Are they looking for me? What do they?
Waiting for things to load. Waiting for things to load. Sitting in your chair, waiting for things to load. Waiting for the manifest to update. Playing old space games. Waiting for things to load. You just want to get out there and explore space. See the galaxy. Blaze your own trail. But you're in your chair, waiting for things to load. Wait no longer, Commander! Automated cargo drones will load cargo into your ship in no time. Automated cargo drones, available now in most starports.
Are you a commander who's tired of interstellar injustices? Do you find yourself constantly needing to express your displeasure? Look no further. Introducing the Manticore Pitchfork, crafted for the discerning commander who demands more than just a plasma gun to make their point. Made from ultra-durable, premium materials, these pitchforks are designed to handle even the most heated encounters with unruly aliens, malfunctioning droids, or pesky space pirates. Whether you're settling a dispute over asteroid mining rights or rioting about a non-compulsory feature, the Manticore Pitchfork has got you covered. With its sleek design and unbeatable durability, you'll be the envy of every commander in the galaxy. The Pitchfork will be in stores later this year, but if you cannot wait until then, you can get 3 months early access by visiting your nearest Frontline Solutions. Order today, and while stocks last, receive a free Displeasure Beacon. This lightweight handheld device combines all the functionality of a naked flame, but with 0 oxygen requirements. Now you can wield your torches in space, and even for a small fee, change their colour. The Manticore Pitchfork, when 280 characters aren't enough. Listen here, ladies. While your man is out and about bringing home the bacon, you need to make sure you look your best, which is why we present to you our Lady Shave. It's small enough to fit into your dainty lady hands and releases a perfumed scent as you cut away that ghastly body hair.
Listen here, ladies. Say no to substandard shaving. At Saracen, we believe a woman deserves a shave as good as a man's. Introducing the Panther Clipper. For women. Gone are the days of your unruly body hair making you look like a bedraggled alpaca. The Panther Clipper is the biggest, baddest shaver credits can buy. And now, it's available in pink. A shave so smooth you'll need a tighter Dominator suit. The new Panther Clipper Lady Shave from Saracen. It's exactly what you've been asking for. In pink.
Is your life like this?
Excellent. Welcome back. Well, I do have to point out, I do mean Ascendancy, not Ascension.
Did you say it again? I didn't even notice.
I know. I didn't notice until, of course, the chat room had picked me up on it and told me off.
Very easily done.
I have been slapped down appropriately. Well done, chat room. So let's have a quick look at the final thoughts really about this update before it hits us for real. Yes, who would like to start? And do we need to warm up any soapboxes?
I don't know. For me, at least, I don't feel like I do.
Oh, right, okay.
For me, legitimately, I don't think I do. Yeah, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I went back on Friday after the early access server, the early access preview server that we had access to. Had a couple of the bugs fixed. Now the first thing that I did when I actually took over power, signed up to Kane last time when I went on, was I flew into an opposite power space to see what the effect would be, because my main concern was how that was going to affect my gameplay.
Yes.
And then I was obviously viscerally quite upset about how that was going to be and how that can't possibly be Frontier's goal. And I think from the communications and the putting things back, and they're trying to work out some kind of balance where that's not going to be an issue. Because if you saw the Burr Pits video on Friday, Burr raised a lot of similar complaints, similar concerns, because we host events all the time on my channel. Burr Pit, the Burr Pit is a much bigger channel and community than what effectively mine is. And if he's got 40 people coming in and they're all assigned to different power play, and they get 9 people dropping in after them, each instance they have 9 different, let's say, especially when they're starting out, they get different people dropping in with them. That's going to be really, really problematic if everybody's assigned to a different power, because as humans we can agree to not shoot each other because you're wearing a different banner or you voted a different way, but NPCs weren't programmed that way. So
I was going to say exactly that. I mean, you know the things they do, like when they build those beautiful ship stacks, and we all love that, and even if we don't take part, we love seeing that. That ain't going to happen.
Yeah, if it was the 40th birthday, after Ascendancy drops, the way it is at the moment, we couldn't have had our 40th birthday celebration thing that we did at Lave.
You'd have to. Can you imagine the Burr Pit saying, we're going to have a lovely meetup next weekend, we're going to build ship stacks. Oh, and by the way, anyone that's pledged to power play, I'm sorry, but you're not invited.
Exactly. Exactly, and that is my full driving concern. Also, I just get pissed off by getting extra interdictions interrupting the time poor period that I have with which to play. We've talked about that quite a lot. So those are my 2 concerns. Also, the map's shit. But what I did when I logged on last Friday was that I actually fully went through and engaged with their onboarding process. Now, I personally thought it was brilliant that with because you've got multiple different places where you can see your activities and the things that they want you to do. So your proposed things, it gives people direction of something to do in the game. And what's not to love about that if it's actually physically something that is tangible within the game? Absolutely brilliant. And I personally thought that that would be really, really good for new players. But then again, I sit with if new players on board to this, and then that has to be their life now.
Yes.
And that's my one complaint now. Also, some of the language and writing needs copy editing, but I'm assuming because preview server, there may be some differences happening there, because some of the stuff, it just looks like it's been copied and pasted in the wrong place and all of that nonsense, and that's fine. But I just think what it looks like is great if you're a new player or a veteran. I think there is an onboarding process there that's really, really fantastic. And it's the 2 things are so separate in my mind, I can't make them meet up. And there we go. That's my final thoughts.
Okay, then we'll move over to Alec then.
I mean, because of the Buckybill race, which I'm afraid took priority. I didn't really get a chance to go back in, apart from just to test the Mandalay wing fix. But I guess my thoughts changed. I mean, so for whatever reason, I had a relatively mild experience in version 1 of the preview server. I did get some interdictions. Funnily enough, when I did the thing of just letting my Mandalay tumble down the side of the crater, the first time I went to film the second version of the video, some NPCs turned up. And I sort of ignored them. I thought they'd be quite fun to have them zipping around in the background of my video, and they actually just attacked me and destroyed my ship halfway down. Which is a bit annoying. And I just went back to the top and started again. And another NPC turned up, and I actually I spent quite a long time trying to avoid it and stay out of its reach because I wanted it to just fuck off so I could get on and make my video.
Yeah.
And it didn't. It clearly wasn't going to. So then I thought, oh well, maybe I had some weapons, and I thought maybe I can. It was only I can't remember one ship. I thought I could take it out. So I flew over to it, and it turned out not to be affiliated to a power and left me alone. So I was like, well, if it's like this, I can live with that. If sometimes power ships turn up and sometimes they don't, if it's not too bad, I guess I can live with that roll of the dice. Then, of course, I listened to Burr's video where he was basically saying he got attacked by 7 ships, and again and again and again. And I thought, well, that sounds fucking disastrous, frankly. So my sort of bravado on last week's show of going, I'm fine with it and I'm going to love it and I'm going to just pledge anyway. And it made me think twice. But fingers crossed that they are clearly paying a lot of attention to AI aggression and stuff. So, and it's really interesting, having not been in the server, I have been just reading what experience of everyone else. There's a Discord for a bunch of the partners, and there's forum threads. So I've just been sort of reading everyone else's opinion. And there's a real split, and I expect you'll touch on this, Colin, about while people want the difficulty wound back so that the Burr can have 30 people in an instance and do a ship stacking thing without having to ask anyone pledged to powers not to turn up. Equally, the people that like power play, I think quite rightly say the aggression still needs to, if they turn it down too much, then it won't work.
Yeah.
As power play. So gosh, there's a fine line to tread there.
Okay, give me a soapbox. If you want to do power play, you can't have nice things.
I mean,
end of story.
But
Simple.
Ben, that can't be the intention.
Must be the intention, otherwise they'd fix it.
My only conclusion, which we've said all along, is just give us a flipping way to temporarily suspend our pledge.
Mm-hmm.
There's a Burr event next Saturday. Even if there's a 24-hour cooldown because of because of exploity reasons, I can do that. I can temporarily suspend my pledge to Ashling on Friday, attend the Burr Pit event on Saturday, have my fun, and rejoin the power on Sunday. Job done.
100% agree.
Do that. Just do that.
I know Colin's looked into some of the technical issues and ways not to exploit it.
Yes.
And it ain't easy.
I know.
Honestly, I've got mixed feelings because it's like,
how do you exploit? I can't think of a single. Tell me, how do you exploit a temporary suspension if it's got a 12-hour cooldown on it?
Oh, we didn't. I mean, the obvious thing is if you didn't have the cooldown, or if you have to make sure that any activity that you do while you are not pledged or suspended, they'd have to track that to make sure that if you do reactivate, when you do reactivate your pledge, you're not in a position to take advantage of anything you've got. Say, for instance, you've been exploring for the last day, you turn back, you switch, you put your pledge back on, and then you cash in on your exploration data. That's one of the tasks for some of those powers.
I see. Yeah.
So what you'd have to do is you'd have to actually track. If you've got a pause on, you'd have to track to say, hang on a second, all this stuff here is non-power play activity. So even if I do activate their pledge again and they try and do that, then it won't count in power play. And that's where it gets more difficult. I mean, I'm with you about if they sort of said, right, if you pause your pledge, then there's a 24-hour cooldown before you can reactivate it, but it still doesn't stop
Then
people
I spent
from.
those 24 hours going out into the black, and I come back with several billion credits of exploration data, or rares, or whatever.
But that's got to be... You've got to weigh up how many people are going to do that versus how many people are going to be...
That's true.
People will always find a way to game the system.
Be inconvenienced. Yeah, there are always people who are going to be rat bastards and be devious and those kind of things. But at the same time, there are going to be people who are like, yeah, no, I accept that option being available to me, and I will use it as intended. Yeah. If you're not, you're only cheating yourself at this point. You're not really.
But you're not.
What do you get? You just get to go higher up in the thing.
No, but it will have a cumulative effect. This is the problem that we had in the first version when the bots took over, because there was a whole lot, this is one of the issues that I have with them turning down the AI, is because power play was ticking along all right in the background, and then someone let slip that there was a whole load of automated commanders who were just able to do this constant delivery of materials automated in private or solo, and there was no way to stop them. And it was going on and on and on, and people were... that just destroyed the confidence that people had in power play. I remember
just with the new power play, is there then a way? Is it a case that the more you do in one bucket, and I'm saying the buckets are like delivering the misinformation, delivering bounties and all of that. Is there a mechanic that Frontier could implement? I'm not saying it's going to be an easy thing for them to do, wherein one particular thing that one person does, the more you do it, the less it counts. Do you know what I mean?
It's interesting, isn't it? To make you jump around
into trading, didn't they? They've done that with trading, because if you do a massive amount of trading, then it doesn't count for as much as doing small.
Using the BGS as an actual example and showing like all of the different buckets. Once you've filled one bucket, that's capped, and then you have to move on to something else to show that you're making more of a difference. I don't know how well that's implemented, but that's certainly how it was described. So, is there a way to avoid this, like we're saying, botting with the with people not being active? Is there a way to make that get filled, and then once it's filled for your commander, that's you done for that bit, and you can't gain any more rank by doing it that way?
Well, that is a possibility, but I don't think they've got the mechanics to do it just at the moment. That mean sort of opening it up and, modding it a lot more, wouldn't it? So we'll have to wait and see. They've said that they're going to be monitoring how people play it and will be making changes accordingly. That was the whole thing about open only. But one of the reasons why people were calling for open only was to stop this exact problem, because the only way to stop those commanders was basically by shooting them down, and stronger NPCs would certainly stop that. But the one thing, as you all know, I've got a specific power play commander, but my main will not be taking part for exactly the same reasons as you said, as Burrs said, as Alex said. And to tell you the truth, that is the I mean, for people who have multiple accounts, it's absolutely fine. But the
one way
main
around it.
issue is, especially for you and Alec, who've got the one commander. It's like I said, when they've said you want to commit, they really want you to commit.
But like also the whole idea of like, if you make this decision to commit to it, that's going to impact on anything else that you want to do, even in the slightest. To the point that you have to commit to it and only do that, but then not do anything else.
Yeah, I'm going to bring Ben in here because he's practically exploding.
Yeah.
One thing I've been trying to think up how we do this, and the only idea I can think of is that they do have some kind of I'm not doing power play sort of toggle switch, but whenever you toggle in either direction, essentially that empties your cargo bay, empties your data, so essentially you're in a ship with nothing in it and no data every single time you toggle switches.
I was thinking something similar.
That's a really good thing.
Yeah.
Make it that you can't suspend if you're carrying any cargo. You get who's going. You need to clear your transactions.
You
tab
can't go
and
in
empty
either
your
direction.
cargo.
You can't be carrying when you turn on either. It has to be both ways.
That's a good suggestion. That is a really good suggestion. I mean, it does.
I'm sure that it's obviously would just be the fix it button, and that would do it. Obviously.
It does remind me of what Sandro wanted to do, where he wanted to take the whole of power play open only, so the power play cargo could only be carried in open, which effectively meant that the thing was open only. So if you were flying with that cargo and you decided to flip through to the other modes, that cargo would just disappear from your cargo hold.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and that's how power play was going to go open only, because obviously everything was based around carrying the MacGuffin cargo, whatever it was, and you had players who were supposed to deliver it and other players who were supposed to stop them. But that was never meant to be.
Well, why did it never happen?
Well, again, this is quite the rest of the community bullying the power play community. The vast majority of people who were playing power play at the time wanted that to happen. They really did. They wanted it in open only. But of course, as soon as you say to the community that no, this part of the game is in open only, it's like waving a red flag to the bull. So there's all these people started petitioning Frontier, saying no, don't do it. We'll never play. But these were people who had never played or were never going to play power play. But and eventually
by the general idea of it.
And Sandro moved on to other things not long after. So the thing was that there was a whole list of changes that Sandro wanted to put in without the open only, which would have vastly improved power play. But because the feedback was that bad, crunch. Nope. And it's basically stayed static for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
The bubble. If you looked at the old map, the bubble has hardly moved in 7 years. I mean, I must admit, I'm a bit in two minds about the old map and the new map. The old map certainly gave you a better overview of the entire system, but was horrible when you drilled down. This one gives you a horrible overview.
And it's great when you drill down. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And it took me so long to find out how to see what the range of the stronghold and the fortified systems were, until Beetlejuice pointed it out to me on Saturday. She told me that, oh no, look down at the bottom right, first icon of the three, click that, and you'll whatever system you selected, you'll see the range. And I went, oh, and yeah, that is a blooming godsend. You can't play that game without it. But because you're kind of scrabbling in the dark, going, right, which system can I get into Ascension? Because that's the other thing. They didn't explain what Ascension was. Because it's one of the things that one of the weekly task is to take rares to a system that's in Ascension, and I'm there going, okay, what system's in Ascension? And of course,
you can click on that. There was an option on that thing, even in your left, even when you're looking at it in your transactions panel, or if you're looking at it in the power play panel. By the way, everything shows in your transactions panel as well. That's really useful. I didn't realize that for a little while, and I kept going right into the power play menu, and that was a bit of a ball ache. But if you click on show on map, it filters the map for you to show those systems.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah, the map is good when it comes down to the very, very detail and you're sort of a couple of systems away. That's when the map's good. And of course, you've filtered out the colours that you don't want. But if you want a big overview, it is.
So bad.
I mean, I would love it if they had the big bubbly map for the overview and then down to the detail. Get the best of both.
As you zoom in, as soon as you unclick something, as you zoom in a little bit, just fade that bubble background away. You know?
Oh, I love the game we're building.
You know what?
Great, isn't it? Can't wait.
Talking about all these great map options, can I put a little plea out to the community? So we do this community corner every week. There are some great tutorial makers out there. When this update drops, if somebody out there feels like they understand how all these clever little map options work, a tutorial would be lovely, because Frontier ain't going to make one.
Hey, keep it below 10 minutes, though, eh? I believe in you. I believe you can do it. Keep it below 10 minutes.
One on how the map works, for starters.
Funny you should mention that. Top Shift 145 is exactly that.
Is it less than 10 minutes?
Less than 10 minutes.
I've been trying to get it to less than 10 minutes at
Come
moments.
on, man. I believe in you. You got this.
Can you put it on 1.25 speed and then sort of do things?
I'm going to have to split it. I'm going to have to split it into two 10-minute videos, I think.
Amazing.
Oh, yeah. Incredible. Like a chipmunk at 2 times speed.
No, I'm now curious to know what that sounds like. When I play this back, I'm going to put us on 3 times speed just to see what we all sound like.
High pitched will be my guess.
Start singing Bohemian Rhapsody just to match the chipmunk, shall we? Obviously that's only half of it, because there's the new ship as well. We've all come to the conclusion that the new Mandalay is going to be the ship everyone's going to be flying.
100%, it's best ship in the game.
Yeah, I think so.
She was lovely.
Right, okay, so no mass debate on that one. Personally, I think we've been over it. I think it's too good. I think it needs maybe a little bit of a nerf somewhere, or an Achilles heel. I mean, I was even in someone. It even works well in multi-crew, because you can put 4 turrets on the back, and that's it.
There's no combat ship. We were told that.
It's not a combat ship.
Yeah,
it's only there to protect your exploration data, Ben.
And to tell you the truth, it sounds like a really good blockade runner for power play as well. Even though to tell you the truth, you could really soup up a good T8 to do that. Yeah. Right. So one of the things that we thought we'd talk about is I'm scared now.
Okay, we're done.
I'm going to hand over to Psychic to go over some Halloween events.
Scary skeletons. So let's talk about them, because we've just had one. The Elite Dangerous since 2020, every Halloween has done a Halloween event. Which has been dope, because it's the best time of the year. It's the most wonderful time of the year, if you will. It's my favourite. So I thought, what Matt do is just refresh everybody's memory as to the last The last 4 before that, right? 2020. Picture the scene. We were all having no contact with our friends and family.
And that was 2024.
2020.
Oh.
2020. We had the first thing that happened. Frontier, Elite Dangerous started posting on their Instagram a series of binary letters that all at the end of it, a 9x9 grid that I really wanted to take a screenshot of, and I scrolled all the way to 2020 on their Instagram, but it's off center at the moment, and I'm mad at you, Elite. That they did that, and it translated into something along the lines of the stones. He keeps watching the stones, something like that. Proper freaky, scary, spoopy, all of that good stuff. On October the 28th, Frontier released a soundbite on their socials. They did. Chris, have you got that soundbite for me?
This is Dr. Murphy reporting. I'm a geologist, part of Professor Carver's planetary survey team, but I think they're all dead.
One of the best things I've ever heard in the game. I loved it so much. I absolutely adored that when they brought it out. It was a very, very cool thing. There were so many. And the Adamastor appeared. It was a ghost ship. This was the ghost ship. It ended up directing us to an anaconda on a planet that was doing research, and this here right now was this in and of itself was the beginning of the Azimuth saga. So if you think about it, if you squint really hard, the Azimuth saga has been a 4-year-long Halloween event. Anyway,
oh my God.
If you think about it, that was 2020. That was the ghost ship. 2021. Holloway Biosearch Research Facility 15. This one launched on October the 29th. It was pretty cool. It was there was a Gown article that went out. We just done the Colonia Bridge project. Picture the scene. 25 new megaships on the way to Colonia. You could go and stop at all the way along that good distance. A fairly innocuous paragraph at the bottom of one of these articles, the article on October 29th, was like, hey, we heard at one point as we were putting this megaship in, there was a signal. And we saw an emergency signal, and that emergency signal sent us to, along the way, Holloway Biosearch Research Facility 15. This one is the one where they started moving around on this research facility. The creatures under the ground heard
that one.
Yeah, that's my favourite. The creatures under the ground. It's described as it has more legs than a spider and a round mouth like a lamprey, and that is one of my sleep paralysis demons. Ever since I've heard this, they sensed the heat and then came up and then went to eat them all. The very last, it's a Captain Sarah Harding was the person in charge, and she says right at the end, anything's better than being eaten alive, but they're being activated by a dredger owned by the Phagos clan, and the Phagos are those ones who are rumored cannibals. So it's funny because eating people is bad. Hey,
it's a family of 4.
It is a family of 4. Talk to Etty and Dawn. He knows all about that. But there is I did a YouTube video of it with a bunch of creators like Errol, Mouth of the Wind, me, Nikki Lambert, Sky the Shark, Crispy Tater Tot. I've definitely Chris Mark 5. we did a reading of it that I put on, and that's on my YouTube channel. You can go and check it out. It's fun. It's fun. 2022 rolls around, and we have the talk show Murder broadcast.
Oh, that was great.
That was really good. So it was Sally and Bruce, and every now and again, frame shift live would just cut to something in space, cut to this guy like getting closer and closer to where they were, and right at the end he shot them in the face effectively. This led to like a Saw-esque, I don't know if it's entirely Saw, I've never seen Saw, I don't watch scary movies, this is the closest I get to being spooked at all, but it was like a Saw-esque narrative, and it had 3 parts to it, like the trial, the accused, and the confessed, and there were 6 people that were kidnapped, and there was judgment passed down on them for heinous crimes. I'm going to say most of them did murder, and then there were finally 2, and one murdered the other, and then got in an escape pod and buggered off. But there is a twist in the end that I'm not going to spoil. That was 2022. 2023, the Shamash murder signal, which I had almost completely forgotten. The Shamash murder signal, this was a squadron in Shamash, the system. There was a squadron that heard that signal that caused them to lose their minds and attack people. Does this sound familiar to you if you've paid attention to the generation ships? Generation ship Thetis has a very, very similar situation occur. And it talks about passing it 15 light years ago, something along those lines. It talks about passing it a little while ago, and just so happens that Shamash is about the same distance away. So that was cool. There was a lot of bits and pieces in there. My really, really happy the funny thing with that, and Epaphras has just written in chat, so fair play to him for reminding me of this. If you went up to the concourse and looked through the window, everybody looked fine and no one was killing each other. But it spawned a CG where there was a CG that required commanders to kill members of the Rogue Squadron, which was called Grey Swan. And the other really cool thing is that there were occasional pieces of weird audio that ran through. And if you ran that audio through a spectrometer, which I'd never done before, and I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to see what it does. And then at one point, there's like really scrappy handwriting across it that goes, "Kill them for me," just along the top. And it scared the bejesus out of me. I got full willies when I watched it and when I like experienced it. And then the last one is 2024, famed treasure hunter Herman Colt missing. And that's today. That dropped. And I'm not spoiling it because I'm going to be doing it on Friday. But there we go. There's my roundup of the amazing Halloween events that Frontier have done in the game since Odyssey dropped, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, since Odyssey dropped. I think it's one of those things where you kind of get the feeling that the new technology that Odyssey introduced enabled them to be able to put these things in a lot easier than they used to.
Yeah.
Because we've heard talk from developers about how long it took to put things in, and yet it seems to be a breeze. Well, we're not saying it's a breeze, or how
I don't know
hard
what you mean,
could
Colin.
it be?
How hard can it be?
But it does seem to be easier to generate or put the content in. So yeah, thank you, devs, past and present, for the effort. It's been it's been good. Is there, which one's been your favourites, guys? Because I know which one's mine.
Mine personally is Holloway Bioscience Research Facility 15. Just because of how that was so well integrated into the Gaunet article and all of that stuff. It wasn't bells and whistles or anything along those lines. It wasn't the big exciting ghost ship that we had. It was just like the only thing that really, really gave it away was the fact that there was a PFED alert in the Galnet article, because it would never have been a PFED alert usually. And then it just that last paragraph was like, hey, this is a thing that's happening.
I mean, I must admit that was my favourite one. I got serious Aliens vibes off that. So some poor Marines being absolutely massacred by unknown life forms. What's not to like?
Yeah.
What about the other two? You got any favourites?
I really like. I forget what it was called, but the one that you played the audio clip from. Actually, I just think.
Ghost
I mean,
Ship.
we all know the audio in this game's so good anyway, and I just think those little bits of this game can be really creepy. The treasure hunt kind of idea. I don't know what this latest one's going to be like. I hope it's creepy, because the basic treasure hunt idea I sort of associate more with Christmas, but when I think of Frontiers Halloweens, they're often really quite quite dark, and I really like that. And I think this, being in space lends itself to that brilliantly. Kind of a remote, dark location where something genuinely creepy happens. I was just going to say, actually, I might as well mention it now while I'm chatting, but if people have kind of got their Halloween on and do the Frontier one and kind of want a bit more, I think there's a few Elite Dangerous adventures, the French guy's adventure website. I think there's a few spooky ones there that you can do. I know there's one called A Ghostly Tale, but I think there's a handful of spooky adventures there that take in some of the Frontiers locations and weave them into a nice ghost story. So
A lot of them, they're like talking about Generation Ship Thetis, like there's not a lot of happy endings in the Generation ships, because the happy endings of all the settlements that we actually have in the game. But it's a lot of the stuff where there's audio logs or there's things to find in game. A lot of it is just inherently scary, or it has inherently creepy vibes. So I'll put a link in the show notes to the wiki page with the abandoned bases on, because like every single one of those has full creep vibes and they're great.
Yeah, brilliant. It's funny. Just complete coincidence, but before the show, one of the stops on the buckyball race is Shifnal Port in, I want to say, Diso. And because I've been racing, you just zoom in and out the station. Out of the corner of my eye, I keep seeing this structure with all these hollow ads all over it, and I've been really wanting to go and have a proper look. So I went there just before the show, and I think it's a capital ship dock right next to the station, but it's covered in hollow ads, so it's really a really interesting structure. And I was just floating around it, just taking it in, and I was astonished by some of the sound effects. Like different parts of these structures have different sounds going on. There was just a sort of building poking out of the wall, I suppose, and it sounded like there was hammering and banging, coming from inside that specific building. And I was thinking, it's probably quite hard to do, but I would love to see a Halloween event where you're told to just go to somewhere, and there aren't any obvious logs to scan. There's no things that you just click on and get the thing in your inbox, and people are sort of thinking, well, I don't understand what's here. And you would just have to drift near to a window in a structure and hear something. One little bit of dialogue that's very location specific, very focused. You'd have to be within 50 meters of it to hear it. I'd love them to do something like that. I think that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Let us out. Banging on the door.
I was gonna say, or like just like a weird zombie noise or something, just as you got close to a door. But I think I would get the fuck out as quick as no final girl for me. Off I go.
But you could do a treasure hunt like that where you have to follow an audio trail. I think that'd be fun.
Oh, don't mention zombies at the moment. There's a theory that the Thargoid zombies are coming soon.
I really don't think we let's not talk about it, because then we won't just make it happen. I really don't need it to happen.
Yeah.
Please no.
So Yeah, we'll move away from that one. Okay, so
Well, I know my favorite one was I love the dredgers because we've been waiting so long to see dredgers in game, and anything that has anything to do with the dredgers, I just love because it's such a beautiful model, and we never get to see it. So there's just like any excuse to see the dredgers. I
know what you mean.
I
It's a
adore
bit
that.
of fun, isn't it? It's just appear and bugger off again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love the idea of the dredger clans and everything like that as well.
The vast majority of the generation ships, they certainly could be any one of them could be a Halloween tale, couldn't it?
100%.
Oh yeah, I mean they're all
100%. They're all brilliant. Me and Ben went somewhere very different then. Ben went, they're all horrendous, and I went, they're all brilliant.
Would you want to be on a generation ship? That's horrendous.
Well, yeah, I'd love to. I'd love to be on a generation ship because there were like 50, like a good tens of thousands of generation ships that went out, and of the tens of thousands of generation ships that went out, 16 were found.
True. I mean, that's fair.
I'm enjoying those odds.
We've never heard any. We've not heard of any good ones, but yeah, I mean, I suppose Lave and all that places were probably made by generation ships, weren't they?
Yeah, all the ones that actually landed, or the settlements.
Like stories. Yeah,
I think that's a success story.
Well, the Golconda's a success story as well. I mean, they're now out in the black somewhere, only with a modern hyperspace drive. They're not actually. They're not.
They got upgraded by the dredgers, didn't they?
Yep. And so now they're able to jump like any mega ship can. So goodness knows where they are at the moment.
And that means, do we not get their logs anymore? Can we not see their logs, or their logs have the logs been moved to the settlement?
I think. Oh, I don't know. I'll have to go back and check. I do have a feeling that the logs weren't they transferred to the settlement and then.
I'd love them to be gone forever. I'd fucking love them to be gone forever. There's probably a beacon there, but I'd love them to be gone forever. There's something I really like about Elite putting things into the game and then taking them away and you not being able to access them again. Like how you had to be there kind of sitch.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of with you there. I like the idea of the whole, temporal events essentially.
Yeah, like the Titans being like this really short-term event that's occurred for 2 years.
2 years. Oh my goodness.
It's about that, isn't it?
About that.
Yeah. Right then. Well, I think it's. Thank you for that, Claire. It's always useful to have a recap on the Halloween events because they are quite special, to be honest.
Come back to me for Christmas and I'll go through them again, but it's not the most wonderful time of the year. It's the second most.
So, the question of the week then. Elite Dangerous has run some amazing Halloween events in the recent years. What has been your favourite? Right.
We don't have a lot of answers to this one. I think we should have done my refresher before we asked the question, to be completely fair. But Epaphras said the Adamastor ghost ship one. Nice little hunt out to the Cold Side Nebula. And if I recall, there was some CG shortly after. The stones. He keeps watching the stones. It also like the Holloway Bioscience Research Facility 15 one, which he thinks was the following year. And then he did 3 emojis of spiders. Thanks, Epaphras.
Thanks for that. Yeah, we're not going to conjure up any mental image along with that at all. No,
moving swiftly on. Captain MD13 says, I think Frontier had the right idea last year. Something spooky and related to existing lore, but also let the players be the ones to resolve the crisis on the spot. That was where we had to go and kill the ships that were murdering everyone.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's a cool idea.
Yeah, I mean, maybe they could get taken over by AI next time, so we'd have to fight robot ships.
Guardian AI, hang on.
Salvation Returns.
Yeah. Wasn't there a vague thought with that thing last year that it could spread a bit like the virus that was in World of Warcraft or something? The idea that you'd sort of go there and accidentally hear the log yourself, and I don't know.
Yeah, there was talk about that. Yeah, I remember that.
Didn't they? They actually used that to try and map how a pandemic would spread.
Yeah.
If only they learnt. Wasn't that? Yeah, that was before 2020, wasn't it? Oh well.
Yeah. I think didn't they use it? Didn't they use that as like some of their data because that was their most reliable data in like a modern world of people being in such I say modern world, this like online fantasy universe, but of people being this close as in such close proximity to each other, it actually had. I swear, I swear. Right, I mean, a lot of 2020 was a full fever dream, full fever dream for me. So who knows?
Yeah.
Anyway, moving on to Misery Chord.
Yes.
Yes. So Misery Chord obviously had the same idea as you, I think, Claire, where the Adas was found on October 29th, technically making the entire Azimuth saga one long Halloween event.
100%. I'm with you there, Misery Chord. We don't always see eye to eye.
But unless you do. I hope this year we get to bust some ghosts, because busting makes me feel good, yeah. Or at least one ghost.
Maybe one ghost.
Have we had any ghosty things? Like
Ghost ship, the first one, the Adamaster. It was labelled as a ghost ship.
Yeah, but like busting ghosts.
Ghosts don't exist, Ben.
It's a video game.
Like
they can
Thargoids,
exist.
you know?
They can exist.
Ghosts exist in Phasmophobia. Get the fuck out.
Ghost Thargoids.
Nope.
Oh,
yes.
nope.
Ghost Thargoids.
We'll need some weapons. We'll need ghost lasers.
We do. We need ghost. Yeah, and we need engineering. You got a whole new band of.
A whole new layer of elite. The ghost version of elite.
Ghost Titans.
Oh my god!
Right, so that means we'd have to get Dr. Spengler, Dr. Vakeman, Ernie Hudson, because Ben wants to make Bustin make him feel good, eh?
No.
So yeah, let's leave that there. Although I must admit, the Ghostbusters game is actually really good.
The VR one.
No, the one which has the original cast in it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's about 10 years old now itself, but it's really good. Right, Nicey, I could kill you for this if this is going to be what I think it is. I have only ever seen one event, last year's, and almost immediately got my newbie eagle blown up. Might have a look back and read up on the previous ones. Ooh, can someone get this bedsheet off my head?
That wasn't spooky enough. You need to redo it, Colin. Come on. Add more spook. I've got a note for you. Ooh. No? Okay, cool. The Stig's cousin says a favourite of mine was the Frameshift Live Halloween special, where it became more and more apparent that ghosts were being hunted by a mysterious figure. Then after the broadcast, a Gowner news article announced that they'd been killed. Great fun and a great bit of storytelling.
Was that the same show where there were periods where the kind of transmission broke up and there was pictures of like Sally sort of staring into space and Arthur standing in a corner shaking his head
That was the year after. That was that was the following one. Yeah, it was funny. That one was really funny.
Yeah, it was funny. Is it me?
Yeah, it is, mate.
Is it? Happy Moon Monkey says, I've continued to love both the pumpkin and skeleton costumes. The skeleton one's especially good as part of day-to-day pirate work, but the pumpkin head is great for extra ridiculousness. More costumes.
I'd love them to have done some more this year, but I think they've been a bit busy, haven't they?
Yeah, they have. And we've got a good range as well, actually.
We got like a shit ton of ships this year. I say 4, but I say a shit ton, but it's 4. But that's more than we've had
since 2017, mate.
Yeah, for the last 4 years. So I'm not complaining too hard.
It's quite a lot, you know. I was reflecting on this that certainly in Elite, it takes quite a lot of time to get to know a new ship, I think, and work out what you want to do with it. And actually, for a year, it almost feels like enough. I'm not saying I wouldn't love them to do 20, but if they did 20, it'd be quite overwhelming.
I feel like with them doing 2 a year.
Yeah. I mean, I feel quite blessed to have 4 this time.
Yeah. Yeah, I've barely got to grips with
conditioning.
I've barely got to grips with the Python Mark II, and I've suddenly switched to the Type 8, and now the Mandalay is going to come out. And I'm not really spending as much time as I'd like in any of these ships.
Oh, I have just fallen in love completely with the Python Mark II.
Have you?
It's so good. I love it so
click
much.
with it. I need to go back to it.
You know what the real thing was that I just couldn't find a ship skin that made me feel comfortable to fly it until the Ruby one came out for the anniversary. Now that the Python is ruby red, I love it.
Nice.
Does it go faster because it's red?
Do I look green and orcish? No. It's absolutely fine. Have we done
that's a question of the week.
Oof, wow.
That was it.
Question of the week. We didn't have a lot this time. I understand. I retrospectively, I understand that it was kind of a difficult question. I'll do something really mundane on Sunday after around sort of between 12 and 2 UK time. Hey, clocks have gone forward, so it might be a little earlier than you used to. But we'll maybe we'll talk about, maybe we'll say something about the new ship or the new feature now that we've got to see it in tomorrow's, if you're listening to this live, or Wednesday's Frontier Unlocked.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Right. I've got Moistly Clueless here. Ben.
Yes.
Have you been altering all the
tampering with
titles
Colin's
again?
notes?
Moistly Clueless. You can tell that Ben's had trouble.
Yeah, no, I was just basically what I was alluding to earlier. I went off to do exactly what I've been doing this evening, but in Rasian rather than Ouya. And my ship very, very promptly melted. So yeah, and as I knew that I knew that the thing was melted. I was like, oh, it's been a couple of days now. It'll be cooled down. What's the Echo's like?
No, 2 weeks.
Yeah, and so yeah, I've learned don't go and revisit until it actually says destroyed. So even though Rasian's destroyed, it's not destroyed enough.
No, it is disintegrating as we speak. It's not completely gone.
Yeah,
that's a really timely bit of advice, Ben. I really appreciate it.
It's just a flesh wound.
It's super timely. Thank you for letting us know when there's one Titan left to explode. This is the kind of time that we need this really pertinent information. Thank you.
And this is why Lave Radio does the best journalism.
The best show this side of Dizzo, 100%.
Yeah, the other shows on the other side of Dizzo are far better.
Don't listen to this.
Listen to Leasty the Radio. They're fantastic.
They actually know what they're talking about.
I was going to say Tia Newsler time, but I think that's the same side of Dizzo as us. I don't know.
You could go backwards.
You know what? Fuck it. Anywhere else.
Anywhere with the best radio show in the Lave station.
We are 100%.
As long as that pirate broadcast isn't going off.
Yeah, unless someone else starts recording, and then we're fucked.
Oh dear. Now, any other business, Claire?
This Saturday, hey, you know how I sometimes have opinions about things. This Saturday we're doing a Room 101 charity stream over on my good pal Ananda's channel, raising money for Sussex and Kent and East Sussex Air Ambulance, which is a charity that's very, very close to Ananda's heart. There's 5 of us. We've got four categories to show our pet peeves and try and submit and articulate why they need to be in Room 101. So if you want to hear me and 4 other pals having opinions in the negative about something other than Elite,
you just want a good whinge, don't you?
I mean, soon I'm not going to be all young and hip and cool like I am right now, Colin. Soon I'm going to get old and sad and angry at the world, and I'm just getting my practice in.
Hang on, you're not angry at the world now.
Well, I've had to come off social media for reasons of Veil Guard spoilers. So I'm kind of
You should be improving now that you're away. Mental health's good when you come away from social media.
I'm good. I just keep accidentally opening the social media on my phone because it's such habit. But yeah, go and check it out. There'll be a link to Ananda's channel in the show notes. I'm really excited about it because there's just some really cool dudes and friends of mine that we're just gonna have a laugh with and talk shit. I've got some really unhinged ones that I've submitted. I'm really looking forward to it.
I was going to say, that sounds really good. I can't wait to find out what you're going to put in Room 101.
I might preview it for you guys in a little bit.
Oh, worrying. Right.
Post-show stuff.
Okay, so we'll do the shout-outs then. So our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on a Thursday at 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv, Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For a discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, there is the CQC Discord at discord.me/EliteDangerousCQC. And I got absolutely hammered by Mouseketeer last time. 8-0. Oh, so depressing. We're also giving shout-outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts. So you can say hello to the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. They mentioned us again yet because we all met up at Star Citizen. And there's also the Loose Screws podcast as well, also the other side and of the pond. And if you speak French,
I just let the funky music do the talking.
there's the Elite Dangerous podcast as well as their wonderful mission site. Now, following on this, we have an epic Galnet News Digest as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. Settle in, lads and lasses. It's a big one.
That's what she said.
Hey!
So, yeah. That will be at the end of the show. And of course, thanks to everyone who has chipped in at the Twitch chat channel and the in-game commanders that we've had today, Ben and
Chris.
Chris might tell us.
I can tell you who Chris had. Chris had the in-game commanders, Mac Winston, Grogu, Electro Ace, Giza Gonk Yadobba, fuck yes, Nosnai, Soccer 42, and Apathus.
Yes.
He's a donkey-dobber.
He's a donk-yadobber.
Do you get the feeling that Chris is trying to corrupt Apathus somehow? Yeah.
Well, yeah. They both are. The collective has got their grubby little mitts in my pal Apathus, and I'm mad about it.
He's being assimilated into the Chris Collective.
It's scary. It's really scary. I don't like it.
Right, so special thanks to Commander Tokuso, Jay and Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have all created music for the show. And that is it for another Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find all the contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you've got any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, thanks to Alec.
Thanks, Colin. Night all.
Thanks to Claire.
Thank you.
Thanks to Ben.
Good night.
Incredible.
Sorry.
Well, considering when I tried to do something, someone was looking at me as if I just had a stroke. I don't think. I think you.
I had a stroke too, but I got
you live
told to
alone.
stop it.
Put your hands above the table, Colin.
No, not. Oh, God. Right. Well, special thanks, of course, goes to today's tech specialist, the Chris Mark V.
You're welcome.
Always good to end on one of those kind of jokes. So, until next time, Commanders, fly safe, and if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
Is your life
someone having an orange inserted. You need a safe word.
Space can be lonely.
I'm going to see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Digest, 29th of October 3310. We read the news so you don't have to. In this week's news, with the new version of Powerplay just days away, we preview what it is and how you can get involved.
By the 34th century, politics has developed to a highly sophisticated and quite frankly rather feudal level. There are 3 superpowers and plenty of independent systems, and there are minor factions at the system level, a sort of local government or parish council, but neither the superpowers nor the factions count for much in terms of galactic politics. What counts are the 12 Powerplay powers, each of which is willing to do pretty much anything to expand their sphere of influence. If you work for Emperor Orissa and you see someone who thinks Princess Aisling is pretty cool, you don't try to persuade them with words. You attack them and try to wipe them off the face of the galaxy. How dare they not believe the same thing as you? If you pledge to a power, you'll never be safe in the territory held by any of the other 11 powers. The PP Popo will pounce on you, even inside the no-fire zone, and if you have the temerity to fight back, you'll become a criminal. If that doesn't sound appealing, there are benefits to working for one of the powers. You'll eventually get access to 12 special modules for your spaceship, not all of which are utterly terrible. You get discounts on some modules and bonus payments for some activities. These are different for each power. For example, if you like mining, then Zemina Torval or Nakato Kane are good choices. If you like trading rare goods, that's Edmund Mahan. For a bonus selling exploration data, Lee Yong-ri is the best choice. And if you're an amateur botanist, Pranav Antal pays extra for biological scans. There's an overlay in the galaxy map that shows you where the powers are, although it seems to default to having a lot of the icons turned off, so the map can look quite empty. Their powers' colours have been carefully chosen to clearly stand out from one another. Here, for example, we can see Edmund Mahan's systems picked out in green and Nakato Kane's adjacent systems highlighted in a completely different shade of green.
Before you can pledge to any power, you need to read some rather confusing text that doesn't really explain how Powerplay works. Don't worry, there's some even more confusing text to come later. So who should we pledge to? Well, there's a piece of Imperial totty who gets all the commanders hot under their flight suits, whose charisma is so strong you can feel yourself melting under her gaze. Someone who takes a real interest in the plight of slaves, and who'd love one day to become emperor. Let's pledge to her. And here comes another wall of text. Basically, there are strongholds, which are the power's main bases, and there are fortified systems, which belong firmly to the power but are not yet strongholds, and there are exploited systems, which are only just about owned by the power and could easily be lost to another power if enough effort isn't put into maintaining them. The powers can also expand into unassigned systems, although it's hard to know why you'd want to. Just how much galaxy does one person need? Your role, as a humble pawn on the chessboard of galactic politics, is to assist in maintaining your power's influence and to be unfriendly to the other powers. By performing reinforcing and undermining tasks, you can strengthen your power and weaken others. It's probably best not to worry too much about how powers expand and interact unless you particularly enjoy planning a game of 3D chess from the pawn's viewpoint. Some people will, that's for advanced players, and we're not one of them, at least not yet. The bit that matters to us is that if we do what we're told, we'll earn something called merits. Do you remember when credits were something you needed to work hard to get? And then engineering materials took over as the new currency because they were hard to get. Well, now that engineering materials are pretty easy to come by, merits are the new currency. Sort of. By earning merits, you earn a ranking within your power, and that gives you rewards. Rewards like access to those special modules, or something called care packages. You only need 775,000 merits to become a level 100 Archmage. How hard can that be? But how do you get merits? Well, to get you started, there's a handy list of weekly assignments. You're not limited to doing just these tasks, but if you want to be a good pawn, then you'd better make sure you tick off all the items on that list.
If you choose to pledge to your power while you happen to be in a stronghold belonging to another power, you will at some point need to escape. But first, have a look round. Bizarrely, you're allowed to walk around inside a stronghold station entirely unmolested. No one even looks at you in a funny way, despite your "I spy for the enemy" t-shirt. And your power has an agent, right there, in the heart of enemy territory. This is the rather weird-looking person you deliver your undermining materials to, once you've worked out what that means. But as soon as you fly out through the airlock, those strange tribal power play peelers will attack you like berserkers, while the system police reassure you that everything is just fine. Let's hope you're not flying an exploration build Mandalay when this happens.
Okay, you made it. You didn't get blown up by Princess Aisling after all. And you read the first item in your task list, and it says you need to sell 10 tons of rare goods into an acquisition system. Remember that systems are either stronghold, fortified, or exploited. And there was no mention whatever of acquisition systems. Looking at the cleverly designed and totally unexplained map, you might eventually work out that what you need to find is a system that's not stronghold, fortified, or exploited, but which is connected to one by a solid line. We don't make the rules here. So, let's take our load of Kamitra cigars to this unoccupied but connected by a solid line to a fortified system called Pemioa. Oh, wait, no. We can't do that because tobacco products are banned in this system and there's no black market. After a bit of research, we find a single outpost in another system that's willing to take our hateful Kamitra cigars, and it has a large landing pad. But no, this system can't be the right sort of acquisition system. Reading another incomprehensible slab of text, we find that we should be doing our acquisition activities, such as selling cigars, in expansion systems. And after a bit more experimentation, we work out that most of the power play state filters on the Galaxy map have been turned off, which is why we can't find any of the sort of system that we need. The map is a challenge. Mastering the map is definitely one of the harder aspects of being a power play secret agent. Here's a system right next to Zemina Torval's home system. Surely they'll want cigars there. It's only 140,000 light seconds to the nearest base. Well, thank goodness for the Mandalay's effortless SCO performance. And yes, they want cigars. And even more yes. When we sell the cigars, a little notice appears in the bottom corner of the screen saying, "We've acquired merits, the gold dust of power play. We've completed our first assignment."
Let's take a quick break and visit our Stronghold carrier. You can only dock on one of these things if you're pledged, so it's a bit special. It also looks pretty cool. All the ships are police ships in your power's colour, and pleasingly they choose not to attack you randomly. You cannot unfortunately get out and walk amongst the blue-suited thought police, but you do have access to some pretty comprehensive outfitting. Pretty much anything you can get at Shinrata Desra is available here too. So you can get all those modules you need for the next 3 missions. The next 3 tasks all apply to reinforcement systems. Like acquisition systems, reinforcement systems don't really exist. What the unhelpful text means is it wants you to do these tasks in exploited, fortified, or stronghold systems. The tasks are to collect bounties, to scan some ship wakes, and to collect some escape pods. None of these sound particularly hard, although you might need to add some weapons, a collect Olympic controller, and a wake scanner to your exploration build Mandalay to complete them. Let's collect some bounties. We're not still flying an exploration build Mandalay, are we? Hang on a minute. Just by targeting ships at the nav beacon, we're passively collecting merits towards one of the other tasks. That's handy. You need a wake scanner to scan high wakes, but it turns out you get the same number of merits for just targeting other ships. Let's take on that dirty asp. Okay, well, we don't actually have enough firepower to kill it, but if we hang around for a bit, guess what? The system police turn up and do all the work for us. And we get a big enough bounty to complete that task in 1. 3 tasks down, 2 more to do. There's one more task this week that you need to be in a reinforcement system for, and that's collecting escape pods. Ignore all the high-grade emissions. Who needs them nowadays? What we need is a power wreckage signature, apparently. Then all we need to do is wait while our limpets do all the work, nip back to the station and hand in the pods, and watch the merits flood in. 4 tasks complete out of 5. Look at that! There's only one more task to go before we can be inducted into the Zemina Torval Powerplay Hall of Fame.
Our final task, apparently, is the difficult one. We need to take 15 Torval political servants, who are cunningly disguised as cargo canisters, to a system controlled by a different power. This is the first time since accidentally pledging to Torval while in an Ashling system that we've been in any real danger. There's a good system. It's run by Senator Denton Petraeus. Like Senator Zemina Torval, a loyal servant of Emperor Orissa. But in the game of power play, they're willing to double-cross one another, and the Emperor too, if that's what it takes. And look, there's an outpost. That should be relatively easy to sneak into without attracting the attention of Petraeus's cyan cops. And goodness sake, it really is that easy. There must logically be a power contact for each of the powers at each outpost, however small it is, just in case a pledged commander comes by. Surely it must be almost impossible to conceal 11 spies on every single station, outpost and base in every system. Yet it seems it must be so. Here is our very own power contact. Hand over the 15 canisters of political servants and watch the merits roll in. All our weekly tasks are complete, and we are allowed at last to be members of the Zermina Torval fan club. Not only that, but the extra merits we collected along the way have boosted us all the way to rank 2. So we not only get a decal, we also get a 20% discount when killed, but only if we're killed in a Zermina Torval system. This is one of these 20% off a pizza when you buy another one at full price sorts of offer. It doesn't make the excitement needle even flicker. Still, it's just another 3,000 merits to the next rank, and whatever that has to offer. And it's a one-way process. Once you rank 2, you'll never be rank 1 again. Not unless you realise you made a really bad choice in backing Senator Torval, and you choose to switch your pledge to somewhere else. Doesn't sound likely. So, let's wear our decal with pride, if we can find it. It's in here somewhere. Somewhere.
And that's how we got started with Power Play. Coming to a galaxy near you by the end of the week. Will we pledge to Senator Torval when we need to do it for real? Who can possibly say?